My name's Neill Duncan, and I'm a saxophone player and a drummer, and I produce music as well. And I've been supporting my 4 children for 10 years playing music.
I can never imagine Neill doing anything else besides music. It's what he lives and breathes, and he doesn't have a lot of other thoughts than music, quite frankly.
Well, last year, about October, I had a lump here on my forearm, and I went to pathology to get a test, thinking that it was just a lipoma, which is harmless, and the guy x-rayed it and said, hang on, this is not a lipoma, this is possibly a sarcoma. And they couldn't take it out without killing the arm. I had the 2 rounds of chemotherapy, and then we went into the hospital on the Friday after the 2nd round, and he said the sarcoma has actually grown 3 centimetres, and I need to come in on Monday to have my arm amputated. So that was a shock for all of us, particularly me being a musician. Everything I do is with my arms and my hands.
I was very anxious about how he would cope. I was imagining life with a very depressed husband.
So Rachel put out on social network that we're going to have a big party up here in the mountains, dubbed the last two-handed concert. And 300 people turned up, and we had the most magical gig you could ever imagine. When the doctor told me that I was going to have my arm amputated, one of the first things I thought was, that's the end of music.
I felt devastated that he had lost his ability to play saxophone, but I knew that he would keep playing. I just didn't know how.
I woke up from my amputation, and I just remember seeing my closest friend, and he had a huge smile on his face. He went home from that gig and didn't want to accept the fact that I wasn't going to play music with him anymore. So he Googled One Handed Saxophone. Up popped this thing from Amsterdam, a man who makes one-armed wind instruments. So we contacted Amsterdam, and we saw the saxophone, very complex but incredibly expensive.
It was $16,000 to $18,000, and there was no way in our wildest dreams we could have ever afforded that.
So right from there it was like, okay, how are we going to go about getting this saxophone? So the local community and my musician colleagues put together fundraisers. We did 2 fundraisers. So I've started relearning all my instruments. The drumming, I've set up my drum kit in a different way. I've worked as a one-handed drummer now, and I've been getting gigs, and I've worked out this pretty interesting style with one hand, which is something I probably never would have worked out if I had 2 hands, but it's interesting and it's quite a unique sound, and so I'm happy about that. With the saxophone, I'm sure I will be able to play professionally again. I'll have a different style and a different sound. So I feel that one of the things I want to do once I've learned to play it is to actually maybe play it to people that are in a similar situation, just to sort of show what's possible so they can start investigating tools of their own, and maybe it'll inspire them to find a way to get working again. I think just seeing somebody play with one hand will be quite inspirational for people.
And I think that Neill's going to actually potentially get more gigs than ever. He's always wanted to have his own little circus show, so now he's got that special selling point of playing this unusual instrument. And I don't doubt that he's going to be back to where he was within a couple of years, if less, knowing Neill.
All this incredible support has inspired me to live positively. I mean, how can it not?